Helen?
It isn't Helen. How much longer are we going to have to use that paper?
I was thinking of Helen.
I know. You've been working at it off and on all morning.
Did you want something, Bonnie?
When are they going to reconnect the phone in the Echo office?
It's cheaper this way.
With only one paper, and you mooning over that anthracite Helen Dixon, we'll never get the Echo out on time.
Sure we will. As long as Coach keeps Petey cashed out in the football game. At least he won't break us with any three-colored print.
But Petey gave you the money for the telephone bill yesterday. It ought to be back in service by now.
The reason it isn't back...
You forgot to pay it.
I forgot everything. For a few hours, I felt like I was 6'2". You've no idea what that means to something.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the terrible discrimination of the tall. About how people look down on others just because they're short. The coach wouldn't even give me a try. He said I was too short for cheerleader. The shooter who sells elevator shoes took one look at me and started to giggle. Have you ever heard anyone advertise, he's shorter than she is?
People don't notice as much as you think.
Last week, the ticket seller at the movie house asked if I was half price. Of course, I was glad to save money.
Maybe you'll still grow a bit.
I take vitamins, royal jelly, desiccated with blackstrap molasses, yogurt.
It doesn't help.
Nothing helps. I've got all the disadvantages of Toulouse-Lautrec, and I can't even paint.
You could try.
The only chance for someone like me, he has to live by his wits.
There's nothing wrong with living by your wits.
The only problem, even with all my wits, is I keep getting into trouble.
For staying out of trouble, you could start with paying that telephone bill.
The only time I ever felt tall, it was last night, with Helen.
She has the same effect on me.
She let me take her to dinner, to the movies, and then dancing. It made me feel important for change, and rich.
Dobie, you'll pay that telephone bill today? Tomorrow?
That's sort of a problem.
Wait, you didn't steal the telephone money, did you?
Bonnie, I borrowed it. Till today.
Then get down there today and pay that bill, Dobie.
Dad owes me $20 for delivering groceries. He should have paid me this morning.
Wait, you didn't spend $20 on Helen, did you?
And 18 cents of my own.
But why would your father pay you?
He was a little sore, because I mixed old man Dixon's order with the shipment.
Helen's father?
The same.
But how could you get those orders fixed?
It was easy. I got to thinking what a rough time the Shimoneks were having, and how old man Dixon ought to reduce. And all of a sudden, the orders were mixed.
Dobie, there are times when I think you're the smartest boy in the world. And then there are times when I only think you're the sweetest. But what are we going to do about that telephone bill?
Dad'll cool off by tomorrow. He's got to.
You know, you shouldn't have spent so much money on Helen. That's all she's interested in anyway. She's practically going steady with Petey.
When you're my size, you're happier if you don't try and figure out why a big statuesque chunk of cheesecake wants to go out. If she goes, that's enough.
Shall I call Mr. Klugenfelter about the proof?
Bonnie, doesn't romance ever stir your soul?
Not synthetically. I can't understand why he hasn't set it up yet.
Have you our dime?
Yeah, I just got it off the shelf. Dobie, I lost her dime!
What happened?
I hit it like we always do, and it didn't regurgitate.
These repairmen are ruining this phone.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Klugenfelter. This is Bonnie calling about that proof. Yes. Yes, I see, Mr. Klugenfelter. He says he's holding this week's issue. It's how we papered last week's.
That man is always worrying about details. You better put me on.
Mr. Klugenfelter, please excuse me while I see if Mr. Gillis' line is busy. Yes, it's free now.
Hello?
Mr. Klugenfelter is calling.
Ah, yes. Put him right on.
Mr. Klugenfelter, here is Mr. Gillis.
Hello, Mr. Klugenfelter. And how's Imogene coming along with that slingshot I made? The city can replace the broken windows in the police station with the taxes you pay. Suspended from school? Well, how's about sending her up here? Mr. Klugenfelter, that was before I became business manager. I'll get Mr. Dixon to advance us the check for next week's issue. Of course he will. His daughter Helen is on the move. Why, just yesterday, Helen was telling me how the old her father was planning on giving you some of the department store business. That's fine, Mr. Klugenfelter. We always look forward to seeing him. A spirited child. Blocked her typewriter. Last time Imogen was here, she tried to make it print on bubble gum.
But she is bringing you proof.
Sure.
Dobie, it almost seems you can talk people into anything. But Mr. Dixon has already paid for his ad in the next issue.
Then we'll get him to advance payment on the homecoming issue.
That's 3 weeks off. We can't go on.
Sure we can. Petey can always go on. Me and Helen are closer than the bark and the dog. What I need now is something terrific. A dance that is out of this world. A real blockbuster that will help me get my operation off the ground.
I don't see what's so educational listening to Mrs. Dixon. Even white won't come. Yeah, and there's a janitor who will go anywhere just to sit down. Mrs. Dixon's positively a perfect bore. It doesn't matter when you're the president of the Parent-Teacher Association. We're teaching us more than people who elected him. I understand they canceled out on a divine man who's going to talk to us about skin diving. I know. Jim was positively livid. At least we can just sit down and all listen to her. And it won't affect our grade.
But Miss Forepaugh, Father will be furious.
I'm sorry, Helen, but I must have the report of your experiment on my desk by the close of school today. So far this term, your work has been very sketchy indeed. And in an accelerated course such as this, you can't afford to get behind.
But Miss Forepaugh, convocation's in 15 minutes, and from then on I haven't an open period.
Helen, you should have thought about that last week. Either your analysis is on my desk by the close of school today, or I shall have to report to Mr. Harrington that you'd be dropped from advanced chemistry.
But Miss Forepaugh,
I'm sorry.
see, have you seen Petey?
I haven't.
To see Pigpen Pete, a girl needs a pass by the locker room. When he's away from it for a couple of hours, he gets homesick.
You can catch him at convocation later.
But I've simply got to see him now.
Now there goes a woman.
You know she's crazy about Peter.
Just because Petey's captain of the football team, president of student council, a 3-letter man, and editor-in-chief of the Echo, she thinks he's somebody.
Let's face it, he is.
He wouldn't be editor-in-chief if he didn't weigh 500 times as much as his brain.
But he does. And that's why Helen's so crazy about him.
Nevertheless, Bonnie, there is a woman for whom I would gladly climb to the top of Mount Everest in January, in shorts, barefoot.
She wouldn't be any colder on that mountaintop than she is down here.
I suppose not.
You know, Dobie, I think you'd be happier with a smaller girl. One more my size.
Bonnie, you're a woman. At least you will be in a year or so. And when that time comes, you'll understand then even less.
You know, Helen's only using you. She's only looking you up if she wants something.
Gee, I don't think so, Bonnie.
I'm positive.
She was wonderful last night.
She always is when she's getting something. You just watch the next time she starts playing up to you.
All right, I will.
But keep her at a distance.
Yeah, I'll do that. I think better in the open. Hi, Miss Forepaugh.
Oh, hello, Dobie. And Bonnie.
Gee, Miss Forepaugh, I sure missed your classes here. How'd things go today?
Quite possibly, Dobie. I've now returned to develop a new rocket fuel, or an imitation of Coca-Cola.
Say, I've been thinking on a new idea for a mechanical man, and if you could just...
You should work on that, Dobie, in the physics department.
A swell teacher, Miss Forepaugh.
Yes, isn't she? If you'll excuse me, Dobie, I have to go check on the addresses on our circulation list. The few there are.
I suppose that circulation drive is still lost in the morass of Petey's mind.
I'm afraid so.
How about my reading the names back to you?
That'd be swell.
But Petey, Miss Forepaugh means every word.
Just leave her to me. You should have heard her rave after that run I made against Central. She's nuts about football.
She's nuts about advanced chem, too.
You've got nothing to worry about. Just watch your old uncle turn it on. Great ball's on fire! She's left!
I thought she was always here this hour.
You shouldn't have put that experiment on for so long.
I've been watching football practice every afternoon. Petey, do you realize if I'm dropped from advanced chem, there'll be no more dates till Dad gets some new fixation?
You still on that science kid?
He is.
Well, at least you wouldn't be running around with that Gillis Boy Scout.
As a matter of fact, Dobie's really interesting. You know, I'll bet he could get me out of this jam.
That little shrimp?
Last year, he had straight A's in advanced chem.
No, he's too little to do anything else.
You know, if he really believed I'd fallen for him, I bet there isn't anything he wouldn't do.
I'll say. You've got to watch out for these little fellows.
I wouldn't encourage him too much, but he had to feel like he was making progress.
Gee, I don't know.
I'm sure he wouldn't try to get fresh. Not in here.
I could always wait out in the hallway just in case.
And Petey, if he did get a little aggressive, you could rush in to rescue me, and I'd look all high and tell you to run along and mind your own business.
I couldn't let you throw me over for Dobie. I'd never live that down.
It would just be acting, Petey, like a play, so he'd really believe I'd fallen for him.
I wouldn't look so good.
It would just be for a day. As soon as I got my report in, you and I'd be going steady again.
Where is Dobie?
Him and Bonnie ran over to the Echo office as we came in.
We have to get rid of Bonnie.
You could send her over to the main office to see if our cuts had come in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hey, Bonnie, you want to run over to the office and see if our cuts are there?
We don't need them until Monday.
I know, but I've got an idea I want to try out.
Oh, all right.
Right, see, the idea is to take a picture of me catching this pork pass and tasting it, and then on the front to put in a box.
Would you like another tissue? We've got a towel in the office.
No, thank you, Dobie.
It's a big one.
No, I shouldn't have let myself go. I just couldn't help it.
What's the matter, Helen?
It's Petey. I've been watching football practice every afternoon just to, encourage the team. And you know what? He actually bawled me out because I'm going to have to drop advanced Ken.
Not advanced Kim. One thing we had in common.
I thought it was very unfair of Petey.
And now I suppose he's out on the football field, romping around in the grass with the boys.
I suppose so. When I asked him to help me with my chemistry, he just said he was too busy.
That big sodbuster wouldn't know how to help him. There are only a few embers that still burn in the extinct crater of Petey's mind.
Dobie, I'm positively desperate. If I don't have my report under Miss Warpaw's desk by the end of school today, I'll be dropped from the course.
You mean you want me to help you with your chemistry?
Of course, Dobie. Who else can I turn to?
Anytime you need something, I'm elected.
Dobie, what a terrible thought.
You're always ready for dinner or a show, but when it comes to the school dance, it's always Petey.
You know that's not true. Of course, when Petey asks me first, I can't very well say no, but I'm always thinking.
It's good to know you're thinking of me so much, Helen. But it seems you only have time to go out with me when I have money enough for something fancy.
I can't take this. Not from you.
And when it's not money, it's help with chemistry. Always something.
And to think, I broke up with Petey because I thought you really cared.
You broke up with Petey? When?
Just a few minutes ago.
Because of me?
Of course, Dobie.
I'll never be a football player.
Josephine loved Napoleon.
I haven't even taken LTC. I haven't conquered it yet.
But you will, Dobie. I know you will.
I sure will. I thought the only reason you wanted to go out with me last night was to be at the top hat restaurant.
It didn't matter where you were. I just wanted to be with you. In fact, it was last night that I really started having doubts about me and Petey.
I guess I'm being too cynical. I'm convinced.
And now we can work on my chemistry.
We sure can.
What's the matter? Is that little two-bit Romeo trying getting fresh with you?
No, but it's certainly no business of yours.
But I thought you told me...
I told you it was over between us. I'm tired of watching you romp around in the mud. Now I've got a man I can look up to. A man
Look up to him.
intellectually, but you wouldn't understand. Dobie has a true knowledge of the arts and science, chemistry. I suppose it's been wonderful knowing you.
So you don't really mean this.
I'm sorry, Petey. Perhaps I can explain some other time.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay. I guess I'll be seeing you around.
Gee, Helen, I can't believe it. For months, I've dreamed of nothing but your beautiful hair.
Not here, Dobie. Someone might see us.
We could go out to the doll.
Later. First, we have to do my chemistry. If I'm dropped from the course, Father won't let me go on any dates.
All right, let's remove the old roadblock.
But Miss Warpaw's gone in the lab slot. There's nothing we can do.
There is, if you know, Dobie Gillis.
Dobie, where'd you find that key?
A key like this isn't found, it's made. Come on.
Dobie, suppose Miss Warpaw came back.
It's almost time for convocation.
Suppose she came back anyway.
Would you, if you had to go through what Miss Warpaw does every day?
I wouldn't, but convocation's soon. I have to be there. Look as the speaker.
Why? Every evening you can hear her yawking around the house for hours.
I happen to want to hear her. Besides, Miss Warpaw counts absent.
That's fine. I have two excuses.
Where'd you get those?
I ran across them last week in the office.
And what were you doing in the office?
Running across excuses. That don't ring again. Come on.
What are you doing that for?
This is our private laboratory. We can do anything happen to them for the world.
Dobie, you say the nicest things in the worst way. And you're so resourceful.
All right, I think I've got it. What is that I was heading for? Got the manganese dioxide. Helen, can you get the manganese dioxide? It's the black powder to the right of the door.
Yes, Dobie. Say, Dobie, darling, how about you write up the experiment for me? It'd be a lot faster.
Nothing doing. You won't learn a thing. Then you'd probably get it on the exam and curtains.
You're always right. Where was it?
To the right of the door.
Here it is.
Thanks. Did you shut the door?
Yes. Dobie, I really should be in convocation. Mother's the speaker. Dad's there listening.
Good. He's just the man for it. He's had years of experience. Come on.
Oh.
Could you leave this door open until the convocation is? There's really nothing to this, sir. Take 5 ounces of manganese dioxide and pour it into the dilute pen floor. I've got that measured out. The first step is to just get it in the solution.
Dobie, I'm your mother. Just a little.
I'll talk louder.
You're incorrigible.
Mom, it's you.
Dobie, what are you doing in there?
I'm helping Helen with her lab experiment.
But why there?
We might get caught in the lab.
You already are.
Bonnie, I did what you said, and she's crazy about me. Can you keep a lookout? You don't want to have to close this door unless we have to.
Oh, okay. Mr. Pipgrass is coming.
All right, these two nearsighted to see us anyway.
Hello, Mr. Pipgrass.
There you are, Miss Morbaugh.
It's not Mr. Pipgrass.
Did you suppose I thought it was Petey Bellows?
I'm over here, Mr. Pipgrass.
Oh, pardon me. I always get you two girls confused.
I'm waiting for it now.
Late again. The Echo needs a new editor-in-chief, Dobie Gillis. Petey Bellows has the impression that the Lord gave him a head to butt with.
I'm afraid it's the Curtis' fault this time. In a way.
It wasn't when Mr. Bellows had that football article set up in bold-faced print after you already had it in the galleries. We need a new typesetter too, one who can unsplit infinitives. When may I see the proof?
I could bring it to you during convocation.
I shall not be there. With no reflection on Mrs. Dixon, I shall forego the pleasure of hearing her explain it in plans. I am interested in soaking my students mentally, not physically.
I could bring it over to your house tonight.
Anything sensible this week?
I don't think so.
Bring it over. It shouldn't take too long.
We're running a picture of Limbo Lane, but I think it should be okay.
The Limbo Lamb? Some new type of TV dinner?
It's Matt's clutter stage name.
Clutter. Clutter. It has a familiar ring to it with unpleasant articles. A recent student.
She flunked out her senior year, went to Hollywood. She's a singer.
Ah, yes. And an actress too. She tried to weep her way through senior year. I wonder if she is still unable to distinguish between the subjective and objective uses of the personal pronoun.
I don't know, but I guess it didn't handicap her in her latest film. It's called Wild Oats and Wild Rice. It's great.
Pastoral setting, no doubt.
Well, not exactly. It's a family-type play for teenagers set in Brooklyn High School, St. Switchblade.
Quite elevating, doubtless.
Not exactly, but since Limbo is a graduate of Chase, well, almost a graduate, we figured we should run our picture. You'll be home all evening?
I shall. Beams.
Here comes the change of proofs now.
I should shuffle the shalls and the wills into their proper place.
That reminds me, could you write me an excuse for convocation? I should go over the proof.
Gladly. I'm sure you will learn as much in correcting that proof as you will on listening to the eating habits of the adolescent.
Thank you, Mr. Pipgrass.
A man of compassion could know less.
Hello, Limbo. How are you?
It kind of really stinks. Dad says that we can have a video type operator in 6th grade. This is a foreign language edition.
That typesetter of yours isn't perfect either.
Dad says I gotta get the check first.
We'll mail it.
Nope. You gotta get the check or the proof first, or I'll give it. There.
I wish Dobie were here.
Yeah, don't break that.
Isn't he?
Pardon me.
Maybe you really control the selection line. I need another one.
You lost it?
The police hounded it. It's in a case of tweaking sawdust shotguns. Where is Dobie?
He's home putting Helen in an experiment. I hope. I suppose I could ask him what to do.
I never told him to. He give me a postage check.
What would your father say?
He forgot to tell me not to take a postage check. And I'm too young to know any better.
Is it legal?
Everything's legal when you're underage. Here, it's $475. That's for last week and part of the week.
Wow, that's a lot of money to owe.
Well, Dad says if Petey got an editor-in-chief, the editor owes more bills than hands us.
I should probably call Dobie. No, they're probably very busy.
I bet they are.
I guess I could just write you the check. When should I date it?
Next Wednesday. That's when the agents do.
The money should be in the bank by then.
I like Dobie.
Me too.
When I grow up, I'll be just like Dobie. Only worse.
You certainly have a job cut out for yourself, kid.
Golly, Moses! Dobie sure looks fast.
Helen encourages him.
Boy, I'll say. But Dobie's the one hanging up all those top tubes and bottles in there.
Oh, that's what he's doing. Helen's not very good at that. In fact, she's always breaking things in lab.
Will you tell Dobie that I made him a slingshot? Golly, Moses. What a two-minute. What's that?
A ventilating duct.
Would be really good to have a seat.
Wouldn't it? Here's your check.
Boy, will my old memory sore when he's thinking of that check.
Tell your father we'll have the echo to him on Monday, and then the proof on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's when the check is good.
And it should be. I hope I did the right thing.
I used to know the thing. Now, it's so better get caught. It's a lot less complicated.
Dobie,
Yeah?
Imogen came in after Mr. Pipgrass. She just left.
Thank goodness. Sure is cold in here.
I'm nearly frozen.
At least we've got a good start. All right, Helen. Now pour in the hydrogen fluid. But don't break anything.
I only do that when there's 4 pods watching. She makes me nervous. My, it smells.
It shouldn't. It feels like very sulfide. Helen, you got the wrong bottle.
It was black, just like you told me.
They're both black. It's sulfide, all right?
Ugh, it smells like a million rotten eggs.
It's terrible.
Quick, pour it into that bottle. Look corky. Otherwise, it can get all over the school. Now you've done it. It's all over the floor. Shut the door.
Well, stop it.
Bonnie, shut the door, please.
What happened?
It was a fair sulfide. She fainted.
No wonder.
Helen,
Yeah, I'm alright.
here, let me help you out.
Where will you take her?
We can't go back in there.
Will that odor get into the auditorium?
It's bound to.
They'll be looking all over for you.
I'll say, come on, quick.
Where?
In the lab.
Don't look in there.
Not where we're going. Stall until we get set. Call Dobie once if we're liable. Twice if we're to come out, and 3 times if it's a crash program.
But what do we do if it is a crash program?
You leave that to Dobie, Napoleon, and Gillis.
Well, why, Miss Forbach? I didn't suppose you'd be back until after convocation.
I just stayed to take attendance, but what are you doing here?
Mr. Pipgrass, excuse me. The echo proof.
I see.
Have you seen Dobie?
No, I haven't.
Are you sure?
I am. Maybe small, but it's not even conspicuous.
Miss Forbach, did you ever hear the time that Dobie thought the gold was really an Indian mound, and he went digging for relics and came up with 3 weedy box tops
feel like King Tut, only older.
Where's Helen?
She's in the next berth.
I'm stuck. I don't know.
Where's Miss Forepaw?
She's in the lab. You guys have to get out of there quick.
Yeah.
But you can't. They're coming now.
All right, I'll see you.
Woo! Even Miss Dixon's talk is just not that bad. Where did that come from? Somebody said ventilating system. Maybe those did it. I sure hope Dobie can produce an alibi. Wait, can you hear anything? Oh no, it's just that whenever something horrendous like this happens, Dobie's always there. That's true. Do you see Mrs. Dixon? I thought she would explode.
I know, I sat behind Mr. Dixon and he was livid.
Mr. Harrington is positively devastated. I never smelled anything like that before. I'm afraid I'm gonna be sick. Me too. Let's get out of the cafeteria and get something to eat. Not me. I'm going to the ladies' room.
Anything but. Miss Forepaw's still in the lab. There's a group coming down the corridor, and everything smells simply awful.
Then stop reading. You better get out. If Mr. Harrington comes in and sees you, you'll have a lot to explain.
They're coming now.
Mr. Harrington, an incident such as this is inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable.
Quite right. It positively ruined Mrs. Dixon's speech.
I'm very sorry, Miss Dixon, and very embarrassed.
Perhaps we should reserve our regrets and attempt to apprehend the culprits.
That may not be too easy, Mr. Dixon, for this is where the trouble originated. But that does not explain the laboratory equipment.
Wait, the laboratory is in here.
Yes.
I think there's someone coming. God! I beg your pardon.
That's Miss Forepaw, Mr. Dixon.
Waldo, how could you be so stupid?
I'm very sorry, Mrs. Forepaw. We're trying to catch the substance responsible for this nauseating odor.
Oh dear, that's very sulfide. I swear it didn't smell in the lab. Yes, the bottle's gone.
You're sure they're not in there?
No, really low.
Suppose you show us through. I'll wager we uncover the culprits. Mr. Harrington, you and Mrs. Dixon check out the two rooms on the other side.
Would you care to, Miss Dixon?
I spent a week preparing that speech.
Can you see anyone?
No, nobody.
You gotta get out of here.
I'm simply frozen!
We can't leave Helen in that vent with Dobie any longer.
In here, she'd be safe from contortionists.
We have to get Dobie out first. He's the cork.
Please, do something!
Can I? There are people all over the place.
Pete, remember, brains aren't everything. In your case, practically nothing. Now you listen to me. You beat it out here and find White. He'll probably be in the basement. Give him $5 and start talking. Tell him to lie down somewhere and play dead. They'll think he's been overcome by the feelings. Tell him all he has to say when you shake him back to consciousness is, I don't remember nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Here,
What's that?
a rubber apron. Spread it over White.
Why?
It complicates things.
I don't understand.
Neither will anybody else.
Suppose I can't find White.
Look for a chair. He'll be in it. When you come back, announce you found Whitey dead.
Suppose they don't believe me.
They will. They'll never suspect you of anything. Now, quit trying to make pretend I'm coach and hurry.
Please, Pete!
Don't worry, Helen. I've got everything under control.
They're coming.
Well, there certainly wasn't anyone in there.
No, but someone had been there.
Did you find anything?
Nothing?
It was a dead end.
It's just as I was saying, Mr. Harrington. Modern youth is completely out of hand. We need to bring discipline back into our schools, and we need a tight break.
Just 1 second, Mr. Dixon. This is definitely not something